The day didn't begin well for the 6th-ranked Oklahoma Sooners, who ended the day with a 45-20 win.
What do you mean you don't subscribe to my son's YouTube channel?
Mama, no!
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
First, there was the news of the weather delay, and that was awful. And then there was news that they would play without either of their starting offensive tackles. Neither Adrian Ealy nor Erik Swenson played against Kansas. Then there was news that OU running back Kennedy Brooks would not play after Lincoln Riley said he was fine on Monday following an illegal hit to his lower body against Texas Tech. And then finally, there was the Sooners play on the field in the first and second quarters, notably, after holding their first 4 opponent to just 10 of 51 on third down and holding Tech to just 1 of 14 a week ago. The OU defense gave up 3 third downs in the first half and went down 7-0. Those points were the first given up by the OU defense in the first quarter of any game this season. KU running back Puka Williams Jr. continued where he left off a year ago and feasted on the Sooners' front 7. He ran for 98 yards on 16 carries in the first half after rushing for 252 on OU last season in Norman. Quarterback Jalen Hurts and the offense sputtered before they finally turned the engine over and began to hum. Hurts nearly threw a pick 6, and the OU offensive line showed how much it suffers without its starting offensive tackle. Still, Hurts finished the half completing 10 of 14 passes for 168 yards passing and a rushing touchdown. But the game was not without its embarrassing moments. Hurts threw the second interception of the season and in back-to-back games this season. The Sooners turned first and goal from the KU 17-yard line after Hurts caught a pass from wide receiver Nick Basquin on a trick play. It was peeled back by a 10-yard holding call after the catch to a third and goal from the KU 48-yard line following a botched trick play. Helped by 7 first-half KU penalties for 62 yards, OU walked into the locker room with a 21-7 lead. While OU produced 213 yards in the half, only 24 of them came on the ground in the half. Coming into the game, OU averaged better than 293 yards rushing per game. So what did Riley do but emphasize the run to start the third quarter? By the end of the game, Oklahoma had recorded over 200 yards rushing, and third-string tailback Ramondre Stevenson ended with over 100 yards rushing. Hurts finished the game with 228 yards passing on 16 of 24 completions with 2 touchdowns and that pick. In OU's 11-play, 84-yard drive to open the second half, the Sooners ran the ball 7 times, and Hurts accounted for 36 yards rushing and a touchdown on the drive to extend the lead to a comfortable 28-7. With their next possession, Oklahoma scored its 35th unanswered point to put the game out of reach for KU coach Les Miles' Jayhawks, but the film review will leave the Sooners with quite a lot and the problems to correct that they have. They prepare for the top 25 team that is the Texas Longhorns in the Red River rivalry, and maybe they were looking ahead to that game.
So no, I honestly did not feel that with this team. I didn't. I mean, we had some points that we wanted to come in and focus on. We did some of them well. We didn't do some of them well. Maybe we didn't handle the early start, whatever it was. This is not, I'm not even going to say that. We got to do better, But I don't think the Texas game was in any part of factor here. No.
Maybe they weren't. Anyway, must we say more about the penalties Oklahoma has committed beyond there have just been too many of them? In the same tone that Jimmy McMillan once used, exclaiming, "The rent is too damn high." Heading into their affair with Kansas, OU had committed 33 penalties for 363 yards against its previous 4 opponents. With those numbers, Oklahoma ranked 129th and edging Tulsa at 130th from finishing dead last football subdivision teams in yardage gifted because the Sooners just can't bring themselves to follow the rules. You'll see the penalties are too damn high. During their 45-20 win against KU, the Sooners committed 8 penalties for 89 yards, which is right on the nose for how many and how much they cost OU per game. OU's season penalty tally just a week before the Red River rivalry game is 41 for 452 yards. Giving up nearly a football field of free yardage per game might not get you beat against programs who are, to put it kindly, under construction, like KU, UCLA, Texas Tech, or even Houston. But against a team with the same aspirations of winning the league championship and earning an invitation to the college football playoff, it's more than enough. Many of the penalties leveled against OU come after the ball is snapped. Against KU alone, the Sooners picked up offensive and defensive holding penalties. Freshman cornerback Jaden Davis picked up a penalty where he threw a punch at a wide receiver who also threw one back. Left guard Marquise Hayes blocked his man into the ground, laid on top of him, and then twisted his helmet about the neck so severely that the KU player got up wanting to fight. However, Riley made an important rebuttal in which he argued he'd rather his team's aggressive edge is worth the yellow laundry officials continue to toss on the ground when the Sooners take their aggression too far.
Yeah, no, it's a tough balance. It is. I mean, it's, you look at the penalty deal and you beat your head at it, and then I do keep reminding myself, like I've said to you guys a lot, go look at the end of the year who the least penalized team is and go add up their record, and so the aggressiveness has to be there. Like, to me, that's the one thing. I can't do anything that's going to take away their aggressiveness. Or I say I can't, I won't. We have to play aggressive. That's the only way you win, especially big games. And so we're going to play aggressive, and it's on me and the rest of our staff and our players to do it with also being more smart. And we're good enough coaches and good enough players, we can figure that out.
As for Riley's challenge of adding up the records of the least penalized teams, heading into week 6, this is how it looked. Though, yes, I know he asked for an end-of-the-year tally. Number 1 is Rice with a record of 0-5. Number 2 is Iowa with a record of 4-0. Number 3 is Wake Forest with a record of 5-0. And number 4 is New Mexico State with a record of 0-5. And finally, Air Force had a record of 3-1 headed into the season, or headed into week 4. Riley's Sooners are 5-0. And his point is taken. But there's still a lot of football left as Oklahoma does prepare for the most important and perhaps the toughest challenge of their entire season in the Texas Longhorns. All right, that's it for me. Deuces.